everyone, this is your girl SolieSims and welcome back to my channel. If you're brand new, thank you so much for joining us today. We are actually going to jump right into a spring build. We're kicking off, not spring, summer. I'm still thinking with a spring bring, guys. We're kicking off summer with a build that's about sunshine and slow living and the salty sea breeze and just cool vibes. It's very relaxed, and we're doing this in the Boho beach shack, which is my very first build of summer. It is very cozy. I think it's very compact, and it's designed for a sim who would rather read a book in a hammock than rush off to go anywhere and do anything else. So let's just jump right into it. I built this on, I think it was Key Point lot in Sulani, because I like that it's just on the beach, and I mean, you really can't get too much better than that, like straight waking up and walking out into the ocean. That's just beauty right there. So I built this little boho beach shack with slightly raised off of the sand and with weathered wood and hanging plants and just a hint of too much clutter. I wanted it to feel a bit lived in, but I wanted it to have that vacation feel as well. And in my mind, this was a vacation lot that is also being rented out perhaps for like college kids on break, or this single sim, or a couple. But it's a case where you come for the good vibes and the crash, and it's not an overly dressed up space. It feels very homey, I feel, and just cozy. I guess that's just the ideal word for it. So it is a 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom house, and it has 3 verandas, as you can see. One leads straight into the bedroom, the other one is into the kitchen, dining, living room area, which is one open space, and then the back veranda is of course leading out onto the deck, where there is a canoe that is attached as well. I wanted the focus to be heavily on the outdoors, like activity wise. Everything is done really outdoors. I did put in a yoga mat, and I did an outdoor shower, because I imagine coming in from the salt water, you don't want to rinse off and not trail in all the sand and mud, or not mud, just the sand and saltiness of the water and stuff. Although guys, you have to trek through the sand to get back into the house, but I mean it serves its purpose. At the end of the day, it does what it's supposed to do. For the interior, which I actually designed the interior before moving out into doing too much landscaping, and I'm going back and forth with this hair because I had an idea of what I wanted the shower area to be, and it just wasn't working out, so I decided to just put it down flat and then just add in a bin. So this is where the bin is kept as well, and it's right there. The water runs down into like some gravel, etc., and this is why this area is just a little bit extra green, because of course it has constant running water going along that route there. Now, I'm not going to speak throughout the whole of the build. I will be pausing here and there. I did this the last time I did the community lot, the Bloom Lane Commons, and yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do the same thing right here. So that's what we'll do. I wanted to do a weathered wood look on the exterior of the house, so I carried that theme in on the not just the wallpaper, the exterior wallpaper, which I did a little bit brighter as well because I wanted it to feel like this is summer, and it's also very cheerful and colorful and inviting. And boho typically means like well, I mean, you can go either way, but because it's a tropical space, I wanted it to be like a bold, bright and vibrant space. As per usual, I do the bathroom off camera, but you do get to see glimpses of what it looks like when the walls are down, etc. It's a generic bathroom, nothing too fancy. And I wanted it to feel like there's a lot of the outside coming in. So there are lots of open windows. And can you just imagine, guys? Just imagine you're sitting watching television, or you're at the window at the sink washing your dishes or making a meal, and then there's this fresh, warm or cool. It's a cooling breeze. So with salty air scent coming in, it reminds you of the beach, and of course because you're on the beach, but it pulls you out there. You want to go out there and you want to go swimming. You just want to be out there. I don't know, that's just the type of vibe that I get, and I imagine it gets really, really cool at times. So we're jumping straight into the bedroom area now, and I went with super simple and open and breezy, like I said, and it's tucked away into the back, and it's very simple and soft colors, and it's very full of books. I imagine this person or persons who come here, they read a lot. They like to they just have that type of vibe, like a quiet kind of introverted type of person, and they just want to, it's a place to get away from all the technology and all the everything else. So there's surfboards around the area, simply because, I mean, wow, you're in a place where it would be ideal to go out surfing and just go out enjoying the water. So why not go ahead and do that? I think this sim maybe surfs at sunrise and reads at sunset, and the underwear on the floor is let's just call that their personality. And we're moving on next into the kitchen, dining, living room area. So the kitchen is very narrow, but it's fully functional. There is lots of space for cutlery and dinnerware, etc. There is a bit of open shelving in one of the cabinets in particular. there's lots of like I imagine there's lots of like beachy themed mugs that don't even match. It's just like whatever patterns and designs that come together and works that out. I added in a little table for quick meals, but I think most of the action, like I said, in terms of entertaining and really enjoying meals with friends, etc., that is done outdoors. I put in a little workstation table where everything is like full food. Obviously, it's CC food, etc. But I imagine that she was getting ready to entertain a couple of her friends maybe in the area, so she did a little bit of baking um, and or maybe she, I don't know, I'm thinking that's what it was. She did a little bit of baking and was just preparing maybe later on for the rest of the day as it progressed to get ready to entertain her friends. I did playtest the whole house actually, and everything works well. It works very smoothly. I have no issue with any of the things, and I'm happy for that. So yeah, there are a few things that I did change around, like in the back area, but when we get to that area, I will talk about it a little bit more. So moving on into the living space, it is tiny, guys. It is tiny, but I think it's filled with warmth. So there are the rugs and lots of natural textures, and I think all the clutter pieces that I chose kind of tells its own story of the sim or sims who sometimes occupy this space. This sim maybe just a little bit creative, and probably someone who collects postcards and sketches badly, maybe like photos of not photos, just sketches like the waves and the beach and the coral, etc. And they never put books back where it's supposed to go. Everything is always random and all over the place. Here I was trying to play around with the tool mod a bit. It was driving me crazy. In the end, I forgot. I just like, whatever, forget it, and just whatever I wanted to do. I was so over it, and I just let it alone. But I wanted to give it that a feel of a little bit of unkemptness. Like there's just a little bit of messy going on here. I wanted to tie in a lot of the tropical feels, so there's a very tropical flower arrangement right there. Maybe things pulled, plants pulled away from the neighbor's yard, etc. There's lots of books scattered all over the place, because I imagine, like I said, that the Sims who live here or occupy the space tend to do a lot of reading, etc. There are puzzle books, not puzzle books, puzzle boxes right next to the television, etc. And as you can see, there is a puzzle of the, let's call it the archipelago of the Sulani Islands, and they're trying to put it together, etc. And I'm tying in a bit of the unkemptness and the, not, I don't want to say unkempt, it's a bit of a disregard of the regular norms. Like you don't really have to pick up after yourself, you don't feel pressured to do this or that. It feels very relaxed and very it's just a very laid back type of space. I do remove the guitar from where it was by the door, and I put it on the other side. So there are a few things that I had to move around just for ease of flow of the sim moving around. But like I said, I did play test it, so that is completely understandable as well. We did a time jump here. Guys, I took a break. I was getting frustrated with the build and I couldn't figure out what I wanted to do. So I jumped from the back, and I mean, and sometimes it's a good thing to do. You give yourself some time for you to decide what it is that you want to do and then move forward from there. And it comes together even better because I was able to do the outside, the front area the way that I wanted, and then eventually move into the back, which kind of worked. Now, because this was a boho house, I wanted it to feel very boho-ish, and I did not put a lot of plants inside, but I did not skimp on putting it outside. So I did a lot of plants on this area leading into the bedroom. So that outer deck, can you imagine getting up every morning and watering all of these plants, guys? But it is a labor of love, and I imagine that probably when this sim isn't there is somebody coming over, like maybe a property manager coming over to take a look at exactly what's happening and just to keep with the upkeep of the place, particularly because I mean, if it's a case that is going to be rented out, that makes a lot of sense. Originally, I said I didn't want to have an overly done yard. In that, I mean, a lot of I wanted a very simple landscaping layout. That was what my intention was. And I'm not gonna lie, I went a little bit overboard, as I tend to do. I just wasn't that happy with what I had already done and how it was coming together, so I needed to just dress it up a little bit more. I did put in a hammock. I really love it, and the fact that my sim actually went out there and relaxed in the evening, just laid there, even took a nap, etc., with the fire on. Like, it was just perfect. I really, really like how it came together. And funnily enough, guys, whilst I was doing this and putting down all the greenery for the space, I was listening to this podcast about something weird happening in the jungle. I like to listen to horror stories whilst I build, and that's what it was. And it just, I don't know, it suited the vibe, and it made me inspired to do more creating and stuff. So I was happy with that. So as I mentioned before, we do have a hammock for relaxing and maybe afternoon naps, evening naps, early evening naps. There is the fire pit for late night chats with friends, and I don't know, maybe some random stranger. I can imagine people just coming over and like, do you want to have a beer or whatever, or something like that. There is a towel where the sim probably lays down. I wanted to put an umbrella, and I only just thought about it now, maybe like a closed umbrella, but maybe not. Maybe that's fine as well, that they didn't have that. So there's a towel there as well, so that they can lay back and read, listen to music or whatever. And then there is this green juice bottle that I put up as well. I felt that the water in next on the lot itself kind of looked empty, guys. Like, it was really nice and clear, etc., but I figured it's so close to the coral reef, why not add a bit of coral right there in around where she is. I tried to play around her, trying to make this a bit of a layered walkway. I did not like how it was turning out. I hate seeing the ramps just the way they are. So in the end, I changed it up. You guys will see how I did it and how it all worked out. And I feel like it worked out well enough. It did good enough. I also imagine that because coral can be pretty sharp and can also be very deadly depending on the type of wildlife or of sea life that you have living in it. So I kept that in mind, and I thought maybe it was the case where there is it's deep enough so that she's not really affected by things like sea urchins and maybe there's not that many lionfish tend to be around that area as well. Like it's a very tricky thing, I guess. I guess I'm probably overthinking, thinking of it in terms of me being where I am and the type of things that I would possibly see there, but now we're moving on into the outdoor seating area where the official dining area is. I could not pass up the chance to have the view, so that was something that was absolutely needed, I feel. And so I made it so that the official dining area or entertaining area is more focused outside. Like I said, inside is just for living and outside is for the enjoyment of the living. So yeah, so that's where everything goes. I do change up, like I said, the space because it was very narrow and there were pathing issues, so I ended up changing things around just a little bit around the dining area place. But I think all in all it turned out very well. Needless to say, I did a lot of the landscaping of the waters, etc., off camera, because I'm very particular about it, guys. It's not that it's just I'm very particular about it, and having to sort through. By the way, guys, I don't know if I mentioned this before yet, but I got rid of all my CC and I downloaded a fresh batch of CC. And what I really love is how clean my folder is now and how much more organized it is. And I think it will make it so much easier when I have to share my CC items in the tree files with everyone who downloads as well. So that's something that I'm excited about. Here we are making the canoe that she has, getting it all packed up and ready to go out onto the a picnic across somewhere, I don't know where, and just testing lighting and stuff. So this is the Boho beach shack, guys, and it was so much fun to build. I think it's very compact, it's very cozy, and it is a bit messy, but I think in the best way because of all the, you know, the negligence of living that's happening. And most importantly, I think it's very full of that summer energy, and I am there for it. I really like it. And if you liked it, please don't forget to like, comment, and maybe drop your favorite summer activity in the comment section below so that we can have a discussion about it. And I will see you again in the next video.